Rahul here, Punch Out Boxing. Delighted to be speaking to Adnan Haroon of XL Promotions, Bangladesh. Welcome to London. Is it your first trip?
I've been here, like before, but yeah, it's good to be here and being in this venue and watching the show for the first time. Yeah, so good to be here.
First British boxing show that you've been to?
First ever, first ever professional British boxing show I've been. Yeah, so yeah, the first time.
Fitting that you came to my friends, because TM14 Promotions, John Trethewey's friend of mine, and he's actually the man that.
UDDIN promotion.
TM14 Promotions, yeah, and John is the man that launched my media career. So it's fitting that you should come to his show as your first one. So tell us about boxing in Bangladesh. Relatively new. You're running the promotions. Yeah, how long has it been running?
Boxing in Bangladesh has been relatively very new. We can say it's in the infancy. We are trying to create the infrastructure for the ecosystem. Like we are also promoting. I'm the chairman of the commission that governs professional boxing in Bangladesh. So we have encouraged few promoters to be involved with our ecosystem, who understand the process and who believes there is a way to promote the sport. With that, there is a business and there's an economy behind it, and also with that they can promote the boxers. They can have a living, because why we say professional boxing in Bangladesh, the whole idea of professional sport was never there. It's not just boxing. Professional sport is very rarely happening besides cricket. So I was a white collar boxer myself. Then I realized the huge potential of our amateur boxers to become pro. So that's when the idea struck me. So yeah, so we created the infrastructure for professional boxing. Now the boxers are being recognized. They're getting their licenses. They're being able to participate in Asia, and they're ranking up. So end of the day, in professional boxing, the most important thing for a boxer is to be ranked. Like globally. So with our work, we are being able to have shows, sanctioned professional boxing bouts, have pro boxers, like with license, who can come participate in shows within Bangladesh and within Asia. So we believe there's a huge potential for the sport in this part of the world, in Southeast Asia. And like recently we had the first WBC Asia champion from Bangladesh in a bantamweight division. So I believe that the growth is a lot. So like you say, like this is my first boxing show that I'm participating as an audience in the Harrow Leisure Center. I believe my boys, gonna be here in the UK, and very soon we're gonna see boys in the York Hall, and very soon in the Wembley and the O2 Stadium, inshallah.
Wow, inshallah, that's great stuff. So, how many years has professional boxing officially been running in Bangladesh?
Not more than 3.5 years. Not more than that. Like before that, it was all amateur boxing, and it was controlled by the military and the paramilitary, because I have to give them hands up, because they're the one who's keeping the sports alive. So it was not ever a civilian sport. It was very military controlled. But there is a huge audience for it. If you see, like worldwide, there's a huge audience. People love, like to see fighters, like coming from different parts of the world, champions being born, representing their country. So that is what we want to do. We want to represent Bangladesh in the highest order through this sport, and we believe there are talents in Bangladesh that can go any part of the world and represent the country, and we are working on that.
Absolutely. So, just want to start on the amateur scene. Obviously, the amateur scene is where the talent is nurtured. Yeah, what sort of coaching facilities are available? I mean, what sort of uptake do we have?
The infrastructure is there for a long time, but like in Bangladesh, there are other sport that's being prioritized, like say cricket. Most of the funding is going there. So I believe there's like private entrepreneurship, support, that's need to be there. And alhamdulillah, with our support in the professional scene, people are there, trying to support us. And we also believe that we are the one who have to take the amateur scene in the longer run, because I believe, like if you don't go to high school, you can go to university. So amateur is high school and university is professional. So we want to build a roadmap for amateur champions to win world championship professionally in the long run, inshallah.
Have you managed to get any sort of coaches from any of the major boxing superpowers to come and sort of help progress the talent?
Yes, we had initially, a few coaches, from the amateur division in Bangladesh, who helped, our amateur guys being pro with certain knowledge that we had. I personally contributed. Then we had TKO Boxing Club in Dagenham, and Mr. Steve right here in front of me, he was one of the coaches who came and gave us, like a camp for 2 months, and within that camp, what happened is two of our best boxers emerged, and we have Utsap Ahmed, who's the WBC Asia bantamweight champion. So yes, end of the day, mentorship, good training, good camping needs, for any boxers to develop. So if we believe we can provide that to our boxers, it can happen in Bangladesh, and it can happen anywhere in the world. End of the day, boxers are like young kids who need to be guided, and if they're guided properly, they can be world champions.
Absolutely, yeah. Um, for the best talents in Bangladesh, are you going to be looking to, like, say, maybe get them to sort of the regional powers, which I guess are what, Thailand, Philippines, especially in the weight classes that most Bengalis are at, which are the lighter weight classes?
That's the thing. You asked me a very interesting question. Like when people ask me that, like I struggle to answer. I'll tell you why. Because when we say, the lighter weight division below 60 kilo, it's a big challenge because it's dominated by the South Koreans, it's dominated by Japan, it's dominated by Philippines. And for our boys to reach that level, we need to evolve as a country, not just, our boxers. We need to have the infrastructure, we need to have the culture. I believe, when the culture is there, slowly, we will have the encouragement for the younger boys, and they can do it. Because when you think about the physicality, of a human being, genetically we are not that tall, and we will dominate in the weight class that's below the lightweight division. But with proper training, with proper guidance and proper infrastructure, in the long run, we'll have world champions. In the long run, I still am saying, in the long run, we will have definitely world champions because we were still in our infancy. It's just like you see a child being born and it's being developed. We're in that stage of boxing in Bangladesh.
Yeah, absolutely. It will take time. I mean, does Bangladesh need, say, a massive star to help kickstart it? Because you could argue that the thriller in Manila, Muhammad Ali visiting Philippines,
We will have that. I'll tell you
40
this.
years later, it led to
Yes.
Pacquiao.
Bangladesh, we will, see boxing in a different level, and we do need a star. One guy I will speak about. His name is Hamza. Hamza Shiraz, because Hamza is, like a boy that we all look into. Hamza is my boy. I love him. I know his family. I love his father. Like I see his family, how they train. His younger brother Yusuf. They're the champions who represent, Bengalis, not just in Bangladesh, globally. So, and Hamza gonna be a world champion. So when Hamza coming to Bangladesh, I think he will give inspiration to our boys in Bangladesh, and I think he will be a world champion in his weight class very soon. I believe that.
Yeah, inshallah. He only fought a fortnight ago. Another good win.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, in terms of the long term as well, like, are you trying to get, say, boxing clubs opened up all over Bangladesh? Because obviously it's a huge population.
Yes, yes. We have a huge population, and I'll tell you this. Bengalis are very angry in general, and when you have like control violence, you have a good product. So that's the whole culture we want to develop. So we want to do it institutionally. It won't happen overnight. We believe that if we bring boxing to the school level, we want to introduce boxing in high school and make it more familiar institutionally, and soon enough I believe that the culture will develop. Parents will be happier, to put their kids to boxing than other sport, and we will create world champions, inshallah.
How many decades do you think it will be before we see Bangladesh, say, up to the level of those other Asian countries?
Hopefully in a lifetime, I would say that. I don't know about the decades, but hopefully in a lifetime we can see that. I'll leave it to that.
All right. Well, inshallah, it will happen. I'm sure Hamza will get the ball rolling. So yeah, Adnan, thank you for your time. Fascinating. I hope the next time I see you, Bangladesh, it will be at a boxing match in Bangladesh.
Inshallah, we'll make that happen. We'll make that happen.